Today I'm going to be discussing the NAR settlement and how that affects buyers and sellers once that goes into effect. My name is Shannon Gramling and I'm a real estate agent here in New Jersey and in New York City. To give a little background, there's a lawsuit by homeowners against the NAR, which stands for the National Association of Realtors, that accuses them of fixing commissions at a certain percentage, which is not true. Commissions have been and still are 100% negotiable, but that's what this lawsuit is about. The NAR decided to settle on this and just agree with some of the terms of the lawsuit, which I'm going to go through. The ones that affect buyers and sellers, the ones that you should know about. Keep in mind that this hasn't gone into effect yet. The court still has to ratify this, but if and when it does, it will go into effect around mid-July. The first biggest misconception is that NAR agreed to slash commissions, but that's not what the ruling says. Instead, it says that a seller or seller's agent does not have to advertise a buyer's agent fee on the MLS. It actually prohibits it in this ruling. I'll leave a screenshot on the screen that shows you what it currently looks like when you go on the MLS as an agent. It shows what the seller or seller's agent is offering to the buyer's agent if they bring a buyer and close on the house. If and when this goes into effect, that is gone. Instead, all negotiations for the buyer's agent's fee has to be done off of the MLS. Buyers and buyer's agents will now have to enter into a buyer's agreement before the buyer's agents start showing you homes. That is a big change because right now, when a buyer first reaches out to a buyer's agent, especially if it's through a source like Redfin or Zillow where you're requesting a home tour, instead of that agent just scheduling that tour right away and meeting you at the property, getting to know you there and talking about the process then, there will be a buyer's consultation first, and you will have to enter into a buyer's agreement with that agent before you start looking at homes. In that buyer's agreement, there should be the services that the buyer's agent is going to include, as well as the compensation that they will be owed if and when you purchase a home. Prior to this, the seller's agent would negotiate what the buyer's agent would be offered in terms of compensation. But now the buyer and their agent will have to negotiate this separately. The way that this affects sellers is that it could change the norm a little bit. Sellers were never required to offer a buyer's agent a commission. That was just the norm. But now that could change due to this ruling if it goes into effect. So if I'm the seller, instead of saying I'm going to pay my agent 5% or 6% and they get to split that fee with the buyer's agent, now I can say I'm going to pay my agent 2.5% or 3% and I'm not paying the buyer's agent at all. The buyer will pay their agent. So that could be a new norm. Seller's agents can still offer compensation to a buyer's agent. It just can't be shown on the MLS. Instead of being able to log into the MLS and seeing what the compensation is for the buyer's agents will now call the listing agent to ask them, or email them or text them to ask them if the seller is offering a buyer's agent commission. And if they aren't, that fee is going to have to come again from the buyer. What can be shown on the MLS though is a buyer concession or some kind of credit that the seller will pay the buyer. That concession can go to a few things. It can go to closing cost, it can go to a rate buy down, it can go towards paying their agent. So that is something new that we will be seeing. So if this gets ratified and goes into effect, this is pretty much what's going to change for buyers and sellers. One issue that I do want to highlight is that it could be tempting for some buyers to say, I don't want to pay a fee at all to a buyer's agent. I'm going to go directly to the listing agent, which isn't always the best idea. It's always good to have your own representation from someone who is 100% on your side. And in one of my next videos, I'm going to be going more in depth about why you should still be using a buyer's agent, what you'll get from a good buyer's agent, and why it's worth paying them that fee if you have to. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do so and stay tuned and be on the lookout for that as well as other videos that I'll be doing. If you have any questions about this, leave it down in the comments or reach out to me.